Well, this is something a little bit different. This is something I've been working on for, I don't know, a week or so now. Those of you who subscribe to my channel, watch my videos, will recognise this. This is the B-30 based steam engine, which I resurrected from the engine casting and the flywheel and shaft, which were very kindly given to me by my friend Stuart. And I had to make the piston and conrod, the piston valve and the eccentric strap here, and quite a lot of the fittings around here that hold the thing onto the supports and the support. And I had it mounted on a little wooden plate, and I actually did a little video on it, and I was very pleased. I got it running. And mainly, you know, it's always nice to resurrect these things, but I've been wanting to match it up with a boiler so that I can actually run it on steam, and I don't really have anything. So, but what I did have was a piece of 2-inch diameter brass tube, which was kicking around, and I thought, yeah, that would make a pretty good boiler, really. So I basically faced off the ends. I took some round brass bar stock, and I made a couple of end caps, and they're really only about 3 or 4 mil thick with a lip on them, so that they're a snug fit inside the ends of the brass tube, and then you just solder them on. I drilled a couple of holes in the top and one in the side. That's just for a level plug. That's just tapped 4BA. This has got a mammoth safety valve insert soldered into it. And this is just a brass fitting, which I've threaded brass fitting, which I've soldered into the top of the boiler to take one of these brass unions. The firebox I made out of some scrap aluminium plates, which I'm very lucky. Occasionally, some of my friends that still work pick up scrap metal and come around and say, "Are you interested?" And one of them recently bought me a load of these they've obviously been pre-drilled for something. These are aluminium plates, you know. But I said, "Yeah, absolutely. It's nice aluminium. It's about what 1.5 to 2 mil thick, maybe." And the fact that it's got a load of holes in it doesn't bother me really at all. And it was perfect. It was just the right size for making the firebox. So I just cut up 4 pieces of the appropriate size on the bandsaw, my new now vertically mounted bandsaw, which works superbly. And I used some of this 1/2-inch aluminium angle here to bolt it all together, and then another aluminium plate for the actually this is Dural for the base. And you've got one rather nice firebox, and then a couple of little bits of slightly bent brass to hold the boiler in place on the firebox, and also provide covers for the top, the gap basically between the top of the firebox and the boiler. And then a few months back, I picked up one of these Flyball Govenors from Banggood. Mr. Pete did a video on this on his channel, and I just really like them. And then they're not exactly cheap. This one, I think this one's about £30, but I just really like the idea. And I haven't got an engine with a Flyball Govenor on it, so I thought, right, yep, I'll make a block up, and this is just a block of brass drilled and tapped to take the Govenor, and then another on this side. There's another steam coupling that's the steam going out to the actual engine, and then obviously the steam comes in here. The chimney, I'd actually made this for one of my Whedons that I recently restored, and then another friend and fellow steam engine collector, Charlie Miller from Texas, got in touch with me after he saw my video on the Whedon, saying, "Oh, I've got the correct chimney for that, I'll send it to you." So he very kindly did, but I'd already made this one, so I don't like to waste stuff, and I was quite pleased how that chimney came out. That's one of my first attempts at blue in stainless steel. They come out quite nice. So I thought, right, I'll use that on the B-30 steam plant, and then it's just a bit of marine ply there for the base. But yeah, it's all ready to go. I haven't got a burner for it yet, but I shall probably borrow one from one of my other engines just to get it going. But let's have a closer look at it. So it all worked out rather well, because the boiler isn't large capacity or anything. It's very similar to one you'd find on a Mammoth, really. But it's perfect. It provides enough steam to drive the Empire engine, you know, without too much trouble at all. Was it round to the other side so you can see what we're doing here? Yeah, it's it just finished off the Empire. As I said, the Empire engine really was fine on its own, and it ran. I could run it on compressed air, but you know, they're steam engines. They really should be run off of steam. So this was basically a way of doing that. So it's come out all right. I don't really do steam plants as such. You know, that's not really my area. But I thought, well, you know, why not? I've got all these bits, and I've got plenty of scrap metal and scrap wood and everything. So yeah, so there it is. So let's get it steamed. Well, I think we've got enough steam pressure. Let's give it a flick. Yes, there we go. Look at that, lovely. Now, it doesn't quite seem to run fast enough to force the balls out on the Flyball Governor to actually restrict the steam. But it does run. I mean, you know, I'm pleased that the boiler is working fine. It's providing enough steam to run the Empire engine. Let's just have a look at the Governor. There you go. Very high-tech drive belt on the Flyball Governor there. Royal Mail Post Office rubber band. Just happened to be the right size. I think these little Governors that the Chinese made, they're just amazing. I mean, the fact that you've got a working Governor of that size, I mean, there's my finger, so you can see that how tiny that little Governor is, and it actually works. It's just totally amazing. Okay, let's come back out again. And something else I'm very pleased about with the little Empire engine that I restored from the casting of Flyball that Stuart gave me, and it's just silent. It doesn't make any noise. You know, I mean, I'll move the mic. Extremely loud, not. So yeah, I'm quite pleased about that. I've got to get its own burner. As I said, I'm just using a little Bix burner. I'll pull it out so you can see what it looks like. It's one of those, which of course you could probably not even see the flame, but it is there. The other problem with the one problem with these burners is that the gas tanks get very cold as the gas comes out of them, and of course that drops the pressure. So you can give it a little helping hand by warming up the gas tank. As it says, it's running quite well. So yeah, I'm quite pleased about that. As I said, mainly made out of bits of scrap. And it's come out okay. Had to make an adapter up to go on the end of the casting of the Empire B-30 because the exhaust steam comes out here, and that's just like a taper piece of brass casting. So it's a kind of a suck it and see type adapter to allow me to pipe the exhaust into the chimney, but it works. We got you probably can't see it because there's steam coming out of everywhere, but there is actually steam coming out of the chimney. I don't know whether you can see it. But there is actually steam coming out of the chimney. So there you go. Stuart's resurrected Empire B-30 now has its own boiler and a proper steam plant, and it's even got a Flyball Governor. So this is only going to be a quick video. I just wanted to show this, and you know, hopefully it gives some people a bit of inspiration about what you can make with just scrap metal, basically, and a few fittings. This thing did not cost much money at all to build. So that's it then. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Cheers.